For future viewers.
Yes, future viewers. So, my good friend, would you like to check and see what the name of the stream is?
Yeah, this bitch hasn't told me. This feels like an AA meeting, or almost like a intervention. My friend did shrooms. Here's his story.
That was
It sounds
exactly
like a
what I
Darman
was.
title.
It's exactly what I was
My
going
friend
for
did
too.
shrooms and he lived to regret it.
Yo.
Yeah, so if you couldn't guess by the title, I had shrooms for the very first time today, and boy, it was an experience to say the least. Before we get into it, you ready to fight, Matt? Or just gonna shoot the shit, classic shipment fashion? Did I just say shipment? Shipment.
Shipment.
Fuck, I'm
Yes.
parched.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I'm ready.
Alrighty. So you can just. Do you just want me to go through my day, like my story, or do I have, ask any specific questions?
Go through the whole thing. Go through just how the day started, how you got to the shrooms,
Yeah.
and then the experience from there. And then once you're done, I'll ask my questions. And
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so firstly, the shrooms were sent in to my mom from one of her friends. So my mom was just nice enough to just give me some, because I was very keen on experiencing a psychedelic trip. Because normally, if they've watched any of your past videos with me in them, you would know that I very much just stick with drinking or weed. Weed is much preferred than drinking, but what ended up happening was I took it at, it must have been 4:05. I texted Matthew 45 minutes later when I was starting to feel the trip, and I was just like, wish me luck. So I took them at 4:05, and what we did is they were powdered. They were very cut, and this little bag, it was just, I think, 2 grams, and I must have had 1.5 grams, and we made tea, and we and then put it in there, and just drank it, and honestly, it tasted absolutely fine. It wasn't repulsive at all, like I was very much afraid. I have a very squeamish stomach, and the thing with acid and shrooms is it bumps up your serotonin levels, and that's what causes all the effects. When you have such an increase of serotonin, you get very wavy visuals, like breathing, almost like just constantly expanding and retracting. And also, you feel incredibly nauseous when you have a huge boost of serotonin. So that's why you're not supposed to eat, and hence I was texting Matthew and some of my other friends, like, you know, if you guys have any plans with me, I'm gonna need to know a good 4 hours in advance, because it's saying that you should eat it on an empty stomach, preferably 6 hours minimum of not eating anything in between. So all I had for breakfast was a bacon and toast, and I made a little sandwich. So that's all I had, and basically 10 hours later, you know, I was fucking starving. I actually felt like I was gonna die, and I was really pissed at when my friends were not responding to my text, because I really wanted to eat pizza rolls. I'm like, you know, if he wants to play, you know, I'm definitely gonna eat. But, like, I need to know the time frame, because, you know, the shrooms are definitely gonna happen in my day. You know, it's just something that I've planned for a bit, and you definitely need to plan for a bit. And before I get, like, really into it, I would say that if you know, this isn't, like, promoting it. I definitely don't constantly encourage the use of it. It's definitely not for everyone. Your environment and your mental state is incredibly dependent, or important. Your trip will be very much dependent on that, if it's a very positive or negative experience. And luckily for me, it was an overwhelmingly positive and good experience. So anyways, yeah, I was like fucking starving, and within 5 minutes of eating the shrooms, instantly my hunger just completely dissipated. I was not hungry at all, which was weird, because I felt like a fucking starving African child. I really thought I was gonna die. Like, I needed a fucking cracker for any sustenance. Where are you? Holy, where are you? Holy shit.
my no scope missed, my fucking knife missed, and my second no scope missed. So what the hell?
Anyways, I would just go for knives. I can't focus. So yeah, my hunger immediately was just gone, which I found weird. Normally with like weed and stuff, you're just incredibly hungry. Like that's exactly you just turn into an absolute fucking animal. I start scarfing down fucking Doritos and Mountain Dew. Like you just turn into a fucking monster.
Right. Stoner munchies.
Stoner munchies for sure. Very weird, because it was the complete opposite, while feeling the same. It's because immediately I was coming up, on the come up, I feel the same, like, butterflies in my stomach and just a head high, almost kind of like nicotine, a big rush, just constantly flooded and like all the serotonin and dopamine just washed over my body, and I felt almost just in that moment completely cleansed. All the negativity that prior to me having them that I was feeling was just completely gone. And one thing I didn't do to take into advance was having a trip sitter, which is someone who is completely sober that is there to make sure that you're good and okay, and pretty much knows what you're going through, or just you have a bad experience. I did not think that through at all, and luckily I didn't have a bad experience because that would have been a horrific time.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't have been thinking about trying it for ever again.
Yeah, exactly. And I can see why people have very bad experiences and see horrific things and just get scared. Like, it definitely makes sense. But, 40 minutes in, and I'm really feeling it now. Like, I can start seeing just kind of like weed, like, things kind of getting a bit distorted. Like, without focusing on something, you'll see that it's just moving. Almost like there's, how, like, if you look at heat waves, or like it's very hot, everything is wavy, or when you get vertigo, looking at something from very high place, it looks like a ripple effect. It was pretty much that, but everything was also very oversaturated. The sky was cotton candy colors. It was just, everything was very unfiltered almost. It was kind of weird because I was trying to almost negotiate with myself, or not negotiate, but think to myself, and like, is this all fantasy? Is this all just in my head? Do I think I'm high, or am I really experiencing this? Or, like, is this just how things are in this space? And where I've come to the conclusion of, at least, first time doing it, so probably not the most insightful, but I feel like all it really is everything is completely unfiltered. You see things as they are meant to be seen, almost. Like, for example, I went on my first bathroom break, probably an hour in, and I took a long-ass piss, or what felt like a very long-ass piss, and, I was sitting down because I couldn't feel like I could stand up. I was very much like indica, like in the couch. It felt like indica, almost, which is a weed strain. So I was very much knocked on my ass, and so I was just sitting on my toilet, and I was looking at just a laundry basket in front of me, and this towel had a very nasty look. Like, it looked like it was angry at me, and I was like, "You want caught? Knock you aside the head, bitch." And then, it turned out that it was actually smiling at me, and I felt bad, so I apologized to my towel. And, I was just, things become very animated, and you give things personality, and things are just so much more vibrant. But at the same time, you're not really seeing anything different. It's almost as if childlike imaginative state where everything is just wonderful and everything is to be explored. That's very much what it's like, because when you're a kid, you're experiencing everything new for the first time, and it's like as if everything was put on a new, like, slate.
Yeah.
You're just very much in this new, untouched realm almost. It's the reason why they're called magic shrooms, magic mushrooms, is you feel like you're very much in a enlightened space. And so, I see my towel, and I apologize to them, I'm done with the toilet, and then I wash my hands, and then I realize, holy shit, there's this overwhelming smell that's incredibly good. It's on the floor, and I just start I must have washed my hands like 50 times with every different soap that we had, and I was so high that I even just put mouthwash on my hands just to fucking see, what it was like, and just odd stuff like that. and you know, I eventually put my deodorant. I have like 4 different Old Spice deodorants, and I was kind of just constantly rubbing them all over my body, just lathering it all over my skin. Just very much enjoying the smells and taking it in. And then I didn't wash my hands, but I made like a cup with my hands and just put the water on low and kind of let it drain and just full of puddle into my hands. And what I ended up doing was just looking at the water, and with the ripples, since it's constantly pouring, it was reflecting the lights above me, and it turned into this weird, almost hypnotic trance where it was constantly making beautiful patterns and such. But at the same time, like, it's not as if I've never seen it before. You know, it's the same thing when you're sober. You just never pay attention to it. You never see the finer details in life, and you know, just like I said, it was very much as if reality and stuff was just unfiltered, and you feel good, feel like there is a meaning and purpose to these things, just the simple things in life, and it just very much humbles you, and it makes you very appreciative of just the smallest things in life, which I think everyone should experience in some way or another, not necessarily through psychedelics, but in their own manner and way,
right?
Whatever that may be. So, you know, I was just looking at this water for like 30 minutes. Well, it felt like 30 minutes.
It could have been longer, could have been less.
Enjoying it. Holy shit, you just teleported so much from here. You good?
Oh, no, the game is bugging like crazy.
If you want, you can host.
Oh, no, it's
After
fine
this.
now. It's fine now. I think it's fine now.
Anyways,
but still looking at the
where was
water
I?
like crazy.
Yeah, so I was looking at the water, and it just looked... I was just hypnotized like a fucking bug, dude, just staring at the lights, and they just formed all these very unique patterns and such, almost like an optical illusion. It was very interesting. I just stared at that for a good... it was probably like 15 minutes. But then after that, you know, I go... and I'm just listening to music this whole time as well. I kind of forgot that important detail. Music is just so much more intense. It's very, almost like vibrant. You can really feel the music. And then it's very important to like what music you listen to, I think, as well. You want to very much listen to upbeats and things that will get you happy in the mood, because music very much influences how you feel. And if you're listening to depressing shit or just things that are very intense, it's gonna be incredibly overwhelming to your senses.
Yeah.
Like everything else is, you know. So, and taste as well was incredibly like saturated, I guess is what I could say. Like, I had a Monster can, and I remember I took maybe just an actual sip of it, and I was like, holy shit, this is too much. Like, this is overwhelming. This is insane. Like, I felt like I drank heat. I feel like this flavor can never be better, and you really you experience all the details of it that you otherwise wouldn't.
Right.
And definitely it turns into a very heightened thing, almost as if just normal day-to-day food is their own is their own drug. It was very interesting. And you know, obviously when you're on a psychedelic like acid or shrooms, you're not supposed to eat a lot, because like I said, it very much will upset your stomach and you'll projectile vomit. And I felt so nauseous just drinking like 1/5 of my Monster can in slow sips for like 30 minutes. And then, you know, I'm in my room and my walls are constantly growing and shrinking, and as if everything was breathing. Everything gets this very organic feel and glow to it, as if everything is alive. Almost like the Shintoism belief. Everything is conscious and has its own, you know, being and awareness. So it was very
except this time, yeah, the walls.
Yeah. Well, you know, my TV was growing and it looked huge, even though it's a tiny 20 by like 20-inch monitor. That sucks. You know, just things like that. My fan looked fucking trippy as fuck. I don't even know if I can explain it. Just the ripples, and it almost looked like the lines were constantly wiggling, like my fan was just grooving to the music I was, and you know, when you are getting up on that high, like when you're coming up, you get a lot of jitters and stuff, and I call them the wiggles. Your body just starts having little spasms, your muscles spasm a little bit and twitch, but it's not like an uncomfortable or invasive feeling. Like, not to me, I was very comfortable with it, and also, you know, in a way used to it, but shit.
I don't know how I got that.
You know, it felt almost like it was tickling me. You know, like my body just needed to groove out on its own, which was just hilarious. And I just kept laughing and giggling to myself like a fucking weird schoolgirl that just talked to her crush for the first time. You know, like I was very much in that childlike mindset. And it was just incredibly, I've never experienced anything to that degree.
Right.
And let's see, what happened next? So I went back and I probably listened to like the Misfits podcast for a couple, maybe like 30 minutes or so, just feeling good, listen to them shoot shit, and just talk about whatever. And I was very much into what they had to say, taking in every single word. And probably that wasn't the best thing because they speak a lot of just absolute gibberish a lot of the times, but it was very funny. And I think it over accentuates all the comedy that you experience. So I see why people enjoy like stoner films and whatnot when they're in that state. I honestly don't enjoy it that much, and I could like I was almost, it was almost unbearable at one point. Not because it was annoying, but I just kept feeling sick and I was laughing too much, so I just needed to stop and really kind of soak in the moment. Now that my highest state of being high kind of passed, I kind of had its peak. And what I ended up doing was, I'm like, well, I kind of want to experience this at its best, so I decided to go outside and sit on my porch and my rocking chair and just have a nice ice cold glass of water and just sip on that for a bit. And this was the craziest part of my trip. The trees, like everything was so unbelievably detailed, and you know, these trees are like 300 feet away, and at times when I'm not focusing, just zoning out, listening to my tunes, fucking Watermelon Sugar High shit, you know, just absolute jamming. The trees, like the branches, would look and appear as if they were right in front of my face when I'm just staring into nothing, kind of just in my own world, like they would come to me almost. It was very interesting. I feel like I say that a lot, but you know, that's all I really have to say since I've never experienced such things.
No, you're good.
But you know, and the most beautiful thing was watching the sun and the light go through the tree leaves, and I remember just staring at it for fucking hours, just walking and looking at it all from different angles and closer and further away, and it looked like twinkling stars. Like it looked like the solar system. It looked very much like a scene of the Midnight Gospel if I had to compare it to anything. It was incredible. And then, you know, it's not like you don't see that happen. It's not like you never, when you're sober, see the light pouring through the trees, and regardless, it's very beautiful. But the way they were moving, it was almost like it was a ripple effect, like a wave, and it constantly spiraled, and it looked as if my world was spinning. But I wasn't. Oddly enough, that's when I felt the least bit nauseous. I felt the most normal, and I was like, "This is just how this reality is now." You know? It was very much, in a way, not just relaxing, but comforting almost.
Right.
I don't really know how to explain it, but feeling the sunlight just hit my body, and one thing that, you know, people that have gotten high on really anything will probably know what this is. And you know, the best thing is you take a glass of water, you know, just take a sip of a nice beverage and take a nice big inhale, and you feel the oxygen and the air flow into your lungs, and you feel it expand. You could feel it every ounce or inch whatever, like just touch it. And like I said, it's not very much an invasive thing, but you know, this is how it is. This is what you feel on a day-to-day basis, but you don't really ever experience it, You know, you don't ever dwell or focus on it.
Right.
Like, you're constantly breathing, but you don't really focus or feel, you know, the oxygen, air expand your lungs. So that was a very interesting feeling that I had felt before, but never on that level. So that was very trippy and fun.
Yeah.
And what I ended up doing after that was I just went on a walk, you know, just around my house and just looking at plants and shit. I saw this cool ass fucking spider that was translucent and you could completely see through it. It was like blue and yellow. It was very cool. But you know, skinks coming up to me, bees saying hello and just going on their merry way, hummingbirds coming by, then being absolutely fucking pissed because we didn't put any feeder in their bird feeders, so we gotta get on that. They're pretty pissed. They come back, they keep coming back. It's like the same two. At least I think it's the same two.
They're adamant to get that
no
damn
idea.
feed.
Yeah, but you know, I was very much just entranced by the light pouring through the trees and seeing the world as distorted as it was. And it wasn't a scary feeling. It was very, almost just like an absolute adrenaline rush. I was like, oh my god, I'm seeing this. Like, I've always heard about this, but I'm actually living it. I'm experiencing it. These people, these philosophers, these people I look up to have always talked about these almost augmented realities that I'm now experiencing. Like, I'm very much in the Matrix. It was a very exciting feeling. Like, I was exploring the universe, or not the universe, but my surroundings by just standing still on my chair.
Sold up, you're on your own.
And so, you know, going on a walk was just the perfect idea. I can't recommend it enough. You know, experience nature in any way while on a psychedelic trip, I think was almost mandatory.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, like, do it. You know, I'm saying, like, go camping and get absolutely fucking destroyed on 5 grams of shrooms with no one there to, you know, help you out if things get dangerous or complicated, or convoluted.
That'd be a bad
Because that would be a very bad idea. But, you know, just going simply, you know, walk in a park, just sitting in the grass, and just experiencing nature, looking at dumbass squirrels eat shit, you know, just all the such was just such a fun experience. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, doing anything is fun, and I remember then, you know, the sun was kind of going down, and I knew that eventually, you know, obviously this won't last forever, so I'm gonna go inside and make the best of it, and try to experience new things that I hadn't thought of before. And, you know, I just went in my room, and then I cranked up the fan, and I wrapped myself up in my favorite fuzzy blanket that is like 100% Egyptian cotton, so it's incredibly soft, and the way it looks when I touch it and move the patterns and almost like silhouettes that would form just was constantly drawing my attention every single time. And then, you know, I have a lot of plushies, whatever they're called, like little stuffed animals. I'm a fucking schoolgirl, I know, but you know, I love collecting those, especially like the very soft ones. So they all kind of had their own little world in life, very much. I'd say time and time again, like a kid, they each had their own personality and whatnot. They all looked like they were alive and breathing. It was very weird. And, you know, I just kept throwing them around my room, like, take this, cunt, stupid bitch. You know, just having a jolly good old time with my favorite plushes. And I really was just drawn to feeling the textures of them. Like I said, a lot of them are very soft and have very intricate patterns to them, so I loved feeling them. And I honestly, for a good time, just kept just smothering it into my face and just taking in all the sensations and feelings, knowing that, you know, I'm in my own space, so obviously I'm free to do what I want and not be judged. So that was very relaxing and a fun experience, to say the least. So, you know, I did that, and then, you know, I'm a booze collector, and I like going for very, just bottles that I've sought after. Some people call it an addiction and a problem, but, you know, I like to collect things. So I have a good old bottle of like Four Roses and Blue Smirnoff and Grey Whale gin and some other nice bottles that I would just look at and constantly cork and uncork and smell them, and just was so fascinated with the labels or like the raised glass patterns and stuff. Just reading it, just laughing my ass off for absolutely no reason. So that was also a very odd thing. You know, you always get in that giggly stage, and you're in that kind of like reality, I guess. Especially when you're drunk. Everything is the funniest shit, as if you were in school and, you know, your teacher got pissed at everyone for laughing, and, you know, they tell you to shut the fuck up or you're gonna get detention, and then all of a sudden everything is a million times fast or funnier. Like, everything is just so fucking hilarious. Like, your friend could literally pick up a pencil, and that is just like the funniest shit to you for absolutely no reason besides the fact that you can't laugh, you know, and it's very much kind of like that without the guilt or worry of what would happen if I do this. I'm sure I was just an absolute lunatic. My family just laughing my ass off, and, you know, they all knew what I was doing, so I'm sure they expected it, but you know, nonetheless, I'm sure they were having a good time listening to me be a fucking heathen lunatic. Just laughing like a fucking...
like a
lunatic.
madman.
Like a madman, man. Madman, man.
Madman, man.
After that, after looking at my bottles and like smelling the cork, just pretty much making love to the things. Just feeling them out, all sorts. Like, I was giving them a good time. Yeah, getting pretty intimate with them. You know, the rush was coming down, and I could feel that, you know, things were beginning to look a lot more and more normal. Everything
suddenly those bottles weren't so sexy.
So, yeah, exactly, spot on. And, you know, things lost their saturation. Things weren't as colorful. The sun wasn't as trees weren't as interesting. You know, my blankets weren't as soft. Like, one thing that I really loved was just laying on my couch, because we have a nice soft cushion, or like sheeting for it, because we have dogs and they scratch the fuck out of the leather. So we put that over it, and it's just the softest fucking thing on the planet. And I was just laying there for what felt like an eternity, and almost as if the couch itself was eating me. But
take what is yours.
it was a very fun feeling. Like, I like the feeling of not being in control, and just knowing that I'll be okay and have fun with myself, and then just enjoy the simpler things. And I love the feeling of falling. You know, I love roller coasters and stuff, and that's very much what it's like. It's like the big drop, all the anticipation, all the dopamine, all the almost even like anxiety almost. You feel, you know, obviously you get anxiety when you're not controlled, and you get very intrusive thoughts sometimes, like, you know, this was a mistake. Why did I do this? This is clearly not for me. And it's very easy to let those thoughts take over everything. But, you know, you have to learn how to come back to them and know that you'll be fine. And if you don't think you're fine, like I said, have someone there, a trip sitter, to make sure that you're good, and to reassure you that you'll be fine, and that this is supposed to be a fun and exciting experience that most people don't get the privilege of even having, sadly, in their lives, and that you should celebrate it and not be afraid and fear it. So, you know, easy to say that I'm very good at combating those intrusive thoughts, because, you know, I've lived with them my whole life.
Yeah.
So, you know, working through trauma and shit, I kind of just know how to block those things out and train myself to love myself, which is something that I think is getting harder and harder for people nowadays to do. And honestly, it should be something a lot more talked about, because it's very easy to love other people and hate yourself. And a lot of things is a lot of people don't like to reflect on themselves. I find that super boring. I like to constantly self-improve, and I love friends that will tell me when I'm slipping and not being afraid to tell me when I'm not myself, and when they like me this way, or when I have an issue, they're not afraid to speak out about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and to do that for myself, you know, surround people that love you, and you'll find it easier to love yourself, especially if they're nice enough to point them out, but at the same time, you don't want to overdo it and become obsessed with yourself. You know, that's what narcissists.
We have a personal radar drone ready for escort.
So, I had a very good just chat with myself in my own mind, just like seeing, you know, I'm okay, and you know, things are in a very shitty state, and you know, that's just life. You'll have very shitty times, and you know, that's just inevitable and unavoidable. And you know, at the same time, how boring would life be if there wasn't any problems and struggles and things that you grow as a person?
Yeah.
And I think, you know, the best thing you can do is constantly reflect and try to help yourself. And if you help yourself and love yourself, you'll find it that without even trying, just in that act, you are helping the other people around you in your life that you care about. So, if there's any lesson, I would say to train to love yourself, because it's definitely a hard thing to do. It isn't easy. And if it is easy, then you probably are a narcissist, because it's very, very easy to see the flaws in yourself, especially when you're the one constantly fronted with them. A lot of people don't see those same problems that you see in yourself. It's hence why it's good to surround people like that. That will help remind you that you know, are a good person, or tell you when you're not. Anyways, so as it was fleeting away, you know, the sun wasn't as warm, the light wasn't as vibrant, patterns weren't as pretty, and things weren't as magical. Kind of like childlike wonder just disappearing again, which, you know, I'm used to.
We have a personal radar drone ready for escort.
I wouldn't say it was sad, because I knew it was coming, and it's just how it is and what it's meant to be. There's absolutely no avoiding it. And instead of feeling sorrow, I just absolutely soaked in every ounce of the experience while it was lasting. And, you know, I started drinking my Monster again. I'm like, holy shit, this shit's crazy. And I just started going in the mirror and making goofy ass fucking faces like, what the fuck? Who is that? What am I doing? I don't recognize this person at all. Just making the weirdest faces.
Just, this is not me.
This is not me. Just laughing my ass off in the bathroom. So that was very fun. And as it
This is Builder 2-0.
depleted, no, I just started drinking and hydrating with water. Obviously, I went back and soaked in the very last bit of the sunlight, seeking through the leaves, and, you know, seeing the stars through the leaves kind of dwindle and eventually fade away into just nothing. And, you know, then I, you know, out of nowhere, I was just kind of out of it. In a way, you kind of have it, you experience it in waves, at least if you take a small dosage like I did. It's not constantly overwhelming at all times. You kind of feel very good and snap back into reality, and then it kind of gets distorted again and very weird. And you kind of
just a back and
constantly
forth.
get that comparison. Yeah, get that back and forth. And so, just, it was very, you know, I almost didn't know if I was still high in a way, because I'm like, well, it could just come back, and, you know, it gets, you know, each wave is fewer and farther in between, and eventually you're just back in reality. You're just back in with the normal sun, with the normal lights, with the normal sounds. And, you know, I'm okay with myself with that, and I'm okay not constantly having to be in that space, in that mindset, in that world, because, you know, people get very hooked to that and then crave it, you know, especially when they take drugs that are very much artificial and made to absolutely fuck you up and to get you addicted. It's like crack or something, you know. Then you're like, okay, I need to be in this world at all times because I don't feel normal now. It was so overwhelmingly amazing that I will never be able to have fun and enjoy life without being in that reality. So people get addicted, and obviously, you know, when you're addicted and then eventually have accessibility to that world 24/7, you are on crack the entire time, then that becomes a normal and it's no longer an escape, and you're like, okay, well, I need to escape now, so now what? Okay, well then I'm gonna just shoot up heroin on crack. You know, next thing you know, you fucking overdose and die. And it's very sad to see when that happens, because it very much is an illness, and so I very much try to stick with organic drugs, because I feel like they're very less intrusive and more of a thing that should be. You know, it's just nature.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was sad to get to be out of that world, and very much want to go back there sometime, but that's just the thing. It's never not. It's always gonna be a place that I can escape to, and not even necessarily escape, enjoy. Because you definitely need to do it when you're in a good mindset, not like
Not
you know,
a
with
negative
anything,
mindset.
drinking or smoking, with anything that's, you know, cravings. When you eat it and it becomes your escape constantly, you eventually are able to not handle any form of stress, and then that's where the addiction comes in, the craving. You feel like you absolutely need it. Some you feel as if sometimes you're dying, and I know that I'm good and will not be in that loop or issue. Horrific problem that unfortunately a lot of people suffer through.
Yeah.
I was very much at peace when it was over.
That's good.
So yeah, it was a very great experience overall. And you know,
Yeah,
like I said,
and the thought was more along the lines of like, oh, that's cool to do again, not I need more.
Yeah, not I need to live in this forever. And honestly, I wouldn't want to. It's incredibly overwhelming at times. I couldn't imagine living like that, or even just interacting with people is a chore. I had a very great conversation with family members and stuff, but I couldn't have a conversation more than like 8 minutes at a time, because I would feel sick and just feel like I need to focus on what that person's thinking instead of soaking in the moment. So I very much am a person who likes to be high alone. You know, I drink with friends, but other than that, I don't even like really being on weed with my friends anymore. Just because of paranoia, it's very easy to, especially if you're like keeping a secret, like it's very easy to be afraid of what everyone's thinking. Oh, this cunt knows, or oh, they're totally gonna, you know, view me different. And in reality, a lot of the times, unless you're fucking on like meth or something, no one has any fucking clue, and you're just kind of just freaking out for no reason. So I very much don't want to live in that paranoia, especially in this state. So I could be alone to that type of stuff and just self-reflective. One thing I'll also say is you need to very much calculate it. It's a practice. It's a very, very arrogant thing. Just be like, okay, I'm gonna take this drug and I'm gonna feel great because that's what drugs do. That's just not the case. It's very much dependent on your environment, on your mental state, and all the above, really. And if you're just happy and okay with yourself, that's the thoughts are gonna absolutely destroy you, and then you'll constantly focus on it, and you're gonna just get into this constant spiral of just negativity and thoughts that are making you have a terrible experience. It's very easy to fall into that trap as well.
Yeah.
And luckily, I haven't fallen into that in a very long time with my fucking weed psychosis, but hopefully I'll never feel that sort of negativity and intensity on shrooms, because I'm sure that would be absolutely unbearable, and it makes sense that people get traumatized from these things and feel like they see demons and all that, because they're just confronted with their self and their life and their own environment. And if you're not in a place where you're happy and things are how you want it to be, because you're just not going to be in control, and a lot of people are very afraid of losing control. So if you're able to control anything, you very much want to do that. So when you're relaxing, you're actually relaxing and not being stressed. Bitch. But yeah, that was my experience.
Nice. Okay, so if I have any questions, I gotta say, what of all the trippy things that you saw stood out to you most?
We have a personal radar drone
Like,
ready
what
for escort.
was the funniest? What was the weirdest? Like,
The funniest was definitely the towel, because, like, I just was not aware of what I was doing. I wasn't aware that I was, like, animating this thing, so it was very much, I felt very personally attacked by the way it was looking at me. So, and then when I realized what I'm doing, I just laughed my fucking ass off. I'm like, what? I'm fucking arguing with that fucking towel. I'm apologizing to a towel. Like, who fucking does that? You know, I loved looking at my funny faces because they were very much distorted. It looked like a fucking bass booted meme.
Get the score. Fight for what is yours.
And the trippiest thing was definitely looking at the sun and the trees and how, you know, the more you try to focus on it, I feel like the more you're like, ooh, I'm gonna stare at this thing until it looks trippy. That almost is exactly what makes it not happen. When you're just in your own space and it's kind of in your own zone and getting lost in music or just staring up in space, that's when everything kind of very much becomes hard and just changes. So when I was trying to see it, I couldn't, but when I didn't, you know, the trees looked like they were right from my face. You know, there's this one woodpecker that I saw, it was like a small one that was just hitting the tree for like 2 hours, and I was just staring at the fucker. He looked like he was like 2 feet in front of me, when in reality he was probably a good 200 feet away, just minding his own bird business, going about his life. And, you know, I very much liked interacting with nature in every small way possible. I was like chasing skinks, like, what are you doing with your life, buddy? I'll follow you for a bit, and just seeing their own adventures while I'm tripping on my own. So definitely the light through the trees looking like stars is very just insane, and then just the waves and ripple effects and how everything eventually will like spiral and I'm spinning, you know, in this world.
mm-hmm.
So that was definitely the coolest and trippiest part, I feel. I'm kind of used to like the saturation at this point, because you definitely get that with the game. Definitely more so. And, you know, like I said, I didn't take a very big dose. I only had like 1 gram. Which I guess is probably a lot for your first time, but
Right.
you know, it's not like I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And you definitely need to do research and surround yourself with things that are not only, you know, not only that you enjoy, but have sentimental value, because you want to surround yourself with things that will enhance your experience, and it's almost as if you are sharing it with those things, because, you know, you get to experience it in a light and in a way that you never have before. So,
Okay.
like I said, it very much humbles you. I definitely feel like monks eat some mad shrooms.
More than likely.
Or are able to tap into that space one way or another.
Ow.
Anyways, yeah.
Okay. Well, shit, I don't really have any other questions.
Well, we don't need to, like, talk about it. We can just talk about anything else now.
At least overall, it was a generally enjoyable experience for you. You know, it's not something where it's like, ah, shit, I'm never doing this again because I just
Our
watched
faith in
my
you was
demons
well-placed.
come to life. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
at least you had that good experience with it.
My sleep paralysis demon came to visit me in the day. Oh god, why did you let it get upstairs? Easiest shot of my life. completely whiffed. Are you keen for some gun game?
Yeah, sure.
Nice. Let me set it up.
But at least it was that enjoyable experience.
You wanted to stay on the same map?
Nah, let's change the map. You can
Sorry, you
set to
cut
whatever.
out for a little bit. Do you wanna? Okay. Let's see.
Oh, I'm getting tired, and I gotta get up early and...
Yeah, we definitely don't have to continue the stream for much longer. Yeah, I'm just here for the ride. Fuck, where is it? Where's this map? I definitely passed it. Oh, there it is.
Play a
Kill
couple more
hounds.
rounds, see if you still got that after effect high that you were talking about.
It's pretty much worn off at this point.
Yeah,
Like,
probably.
I might feel it when I'm not. The thing is, you become very hyper aware of things.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why you kind of like I said, it's unfiltered. You just see things as if they're meant to be seen until you get to that very much distorted version of reality.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, when I'm focusing on a person or a conversation or literally anything, that just becomes your entire world. Just like this video game right now, and talking to you. So I'm sure when I'm off of this, I might feel sort of some of the after effects.
Mm-hmm. But at the moment, you just ain't feeling it because it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, well, I'm already focused, so.
I'm not very much aware of it, if it even is going on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Gun game. Get with each weapon to win.
Why do we always spawn right fucking next to each other? Seriously, I just spawned right fucking behind you running it. This is like, seriously?
Yeah, the spawns in this game are completely horrible.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and you were saying something about a fucking lawsuit against the makers of the game or
Yeah.
something?
Activision and Blizzard have never been good companies, but man, so apparently there's been a 2-year investigation. They are being sued for millions of dollars by the state of California for treating women indifferently. Because what happened, and kind of what brought this to attention, is all the usually men, some women I'm sure are participants in this, would always arrive at work completely blackout drunk, just butt chugging Miller Lights, I'm sure, you know, just thrown down. And that explains why their game decisions have been so fucking half-assed, awful, and lazy. But there's been very, very many sexual assault reports of them harassing their female co-workers and counterparts, and one case specifically that kind of draws everyone's attention is this one boss. I'm not gonna name names simply because I also don't know them, but one of the bosses took his female co-worker or employee
one of the two,
to a work holiday, and forced her to have sex with him, or else she would be fired. You know, that's their entire livelihood, and they have a family to support. And
so he just straight up raped her.
13 years. So he pretty much just straight up raped her. But not only that, he filmed it and then spread it across the workplace, and then shared it with all the other guys, and they were just beating their tiny fucking meat to it, the fucking neckbeard redditors. And then she ended up killing herself.
Oh my gosh.
And there's been numerous reports of, you know, that type of
similar
shit going on
situations,
in that
yeah.
environment. So I feel awful playing this game. At the same time, like, it's the only one I can really play with you. I really wish companies would just stop being so fucking corrupt, man. Like, just what is it that does this to people?
Money.
I really don't know. I guess. I mean, you throw billions of dollars at a company and they just don't give a fuck and just think they're gods and can do whatever they want and harass and control people. It's fucking disgusting, and I'm so tired of big gaming companies doing it. I really hope that, you know, like the people that made Valorant turn into a company, because I very much don't think that they experience anything like that since they're made by esports players. Hopefully, I'm not wrong in saying that, because that would say that it's impossible, because it very much is. Like Ubisoft, for the longest time, was my favorite company, and they are like the absolute worst, and still are in many ways. So it's very, very unfortunate. I just wish people loved games again and stop just making half-ass games and only doing it for the money to stay in that environment and do those horrific things to unfortunate people involved.
Yeah.
That are less powerful and in worse positions. Because that's all it is. It's just people that are control freaks that can't get their fucking dick wet because they're fucking repulsive.
Yep.
So it's just very sad and depressing. I wish all the best for that man. And hopefully in the next recent years, or New Year's, that come up.
Yeah, years to come.
We just see a decline. Yeah, years to come. Thank you. Could not think of what it was.
Next recent years.
Next recent years. Next yesterday. Yeah, maybe I am feeling it still.
But no, I get what you're saying. Just hopefully soon we'll see a decrease in all this bullshit.
And hopefully it's not that they're just getting better at hiding it, because it's just, it really
Hopefully
is
it's just, it really just finally fucking going away. Because all this shit is terrible. It's a fucking problem, and too many people are just too scared to address it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that work at those companies, whatnot, that don't address it, but also aren't actively taking part in it. Their whole thing is like, well, I don't want to lose my job because I spoke up against this. And so even though they know it's wrong, they don't say anything because they're like, well, I don't want to lose my job.
Yeah, you know, that's such a stupid fucking pussy argument too. Because when you talk to investigators, they don't leak that information of who it is. Like, you're protected.
There's a reason why you can make an anonymous police call, you know, like...
Exactly. If you're witnessing horrific things like that, speak out about it. You know, from someone who is a rape victim myself, like, it absolutely disgusts me. Like, people need to stop being such fucking pussies and learn how to speak out about this shit. Because it's only a growing issue. Holy shit!
I don't even know how I got that one. Fucking hell.
You fucking one-tap. What
I know.
The fuck? That was insane.
That was insane.
Anyways, that got depressing.
Yeah, it did. Went from shrooms happy to this woman killed herself. She's like, oh my god.
That's how most of our conversations get. Holy fuck, my nose is bleeding. Oh, never mind, that's just snot.
Oh, that's good, I guess.
It's very fucking dry in here because I have the fan all the way. Should probably turn it down. My throat's getting dry. Oh, you asshole! Oh, good thing I didn't put on
one setback.
reset. Yeah, good thing I didn't put the setback on 5. You little bitch. You made Darian rage quit by doing that. You knifed him like 3 times.
Yeah, I know. I knifed him twice in a row, and he just fucking
That's like my
gave
favorite gaming memory in recent years. Just recent
tomorrows.
Recent tomorrow.
Darian just completely giving up because I fucking knifed him.
I'm surprised when it throws control itself. But yeah. I don't know, anything else you can think that you want to talk about or ask?
Not really.
Oh, you're above me. I was like, where the fuck is this guy? I did not see you at all.
Oh, you know, just here and there being a terrible shot like usual.
You were just trying to confuse me by missing on purpose.
Yes. Because that's what I was doing. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally.
Mhm. Fuck. I was hoping
You
you wouldn't see
thought
me.
you could hide.
Indeed.
Oh, fucking hell.
Hello.
Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah, the
His
fucking
name
VLK
Juan.
is ridiculous. I can't tell if it's my least favorite gun or my favorite gun. It's
somewhere
very
in there.
inconsistent. Where the fuck are you, cunt?
I could ask you the same thing. There you are. Yes, son of a bitch. Ow.
Finally show yourself, eh? No way that wasn't a headshot. I fucking suck.
Enemies on the
There
last
we go.
weapon. Step it up.
Oh, you're on the last weapon. Oh, fuck.
No.
It just gave
said
me the
that?
announcement, Leo.
You have battle chatter on, you fucking pussy?
I don't even know how to fucking turn it off.
Sure.
Leo, we've
Pretty sure you
established
enable it,
many
don't you?
times. We've established this many times. I don't play this game very often. I
Good,
don't know
it's
how
very
to do
shit and made by horrible people. Holy fuck, I thought... Dude, how'd I not see you? You... Bitch! Oh, that was the worst knife I've ever thrown.
How the fuck do you fucking hit marker a per-
Over your rocket. I am no bitch. You're a pussy boy.
You are a big bitch. You is the biggest bitch.
Dude, why do I only have one throwing knife? What is this shit? Ah!
Fuck you.
I had to do it, man. I
Fuck
need
you.
the knife. I need the knife, bro. It's not my fault. It's the game's fault. It's the horrible dev's fault. Alright?
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I didn't rape people and made this game. It's not me. Don't blame me. Dude, can you just fucking die, cunt?
No.
Thanks.
Fuck you.
Don't return home bloody and empty-handed. Good work.
We finished here, or do you want to continue?
I don't know. I'd say play another game at least, just because I'd like to play a bit more. Because after the stream, I'm probably gonna head to bed, just because I gotta get up early to go camping and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Alright,
So-
same thing.
Yeah. Gun game.
Alright, let's do it. Yep. I've started right back up.
Okay.
Do you think you would ever do shrooms?
I
know that you did weed and smoked. I almost said smoked alcohol. I drank alcohol with me on our camping trip last year, which had its ups and downs. I know you barely remember anything from that day.
Actually, I remember most of it.
Do you?
Yeah,
You
I
told me
remember.
that you remember a lot from the night where you took those edibles.
Well, it gets fuzzy, but I actually remember a
Yeah.
decent amount. Main thing I remember, obviously, is going to be just the ooh glow sticks swirling in front of my face.
Yeah, you were literally just. You had a glow sticks in hand, and you had like 4, and you just kept spinning them. You're like, dude, are you seeing this? like fucking spinning it. I remember me and Darren were just having like a very intellectual conversation, and then we kept like looking at you to see if you would voice your opinion. You were still twirling it like.
No, but like, I remember just about everything that leads up to it too. Like, I remember playing chess. I remember playing cards. I remember recording
Oh yeah,
shit.
bullshit. Going on there, a little expedition.
God
Night.
game.
Uh-huh.
Get kills with each weapon to win.
Yeah, it was a decent trip. Definitely wasn't what I wanted from it, simply because of the circumstances of where it was. So we are definitely gonna have a better trip in the future. Like that's just gonna happen.
Yeah, just gotta.
Eventually, when I'm back in Hawaii, and you're like established somewhere, and able to like go on vacation, you know, whenever you get paid off to leave, I think you and Darren should come over.
Yeah, I get a month of paid leave every year, so.
Which is pretty incredible if you think about it.
Uh-huh. Considering that most jobs only give you half a month of paid vacation.
And a lot of people don't take it to, you know, better chances of getting the position they want and more money to, you know, actually pay off what they need to pay off. Because sometimes paid leave just doesn't give you enough to financially support your entire family.
But see, that's the great thing about being single. I don't need to worry about supporting other people. Because if I die of starvation, that's on me.
Yeah.
And I don't need to worry about feeling like shit because, oh no, somebody else died of starvation because of me. Which is fucked up
really
to think about, but you gotta admit I have a point.
I mean,
At least somewhat of a point.
Yeah, no, you do. It's very much easier to, like I said, not take care of yourself. You'd feel infinitely worse if you're not taking care of someone else and have that stress of needing to. But at the same time, in a way, at a certain point in your life, keep you going and doing things and improving yourself.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
I mean, I don't have kids, I don't think, so don't quote me.
I mean, I've got a lot of little siblings, so I get the gist of, like...
I grew up babysitting and stuff, especially with younger siblings and step-siblings. Where the fuck are you, cunt? I walked back and forth twice, I haven't seen your little ass.
I saw you just a second ago, and then you vanished.
You
mean you vanished?
You're probably lining up your sight right in my head right now, you fucking lying bitch. Fuck! How did I not wallbang you at all? Not even a hit mark.
I don't know.
You hacking, bro? You got walls?
I am not.
As if I hit mark for your head. As if. Dude, you're fucking slaying with the EBR. That should be like your new weapon. That's twice in a row now that you've one-tapped me within the head. I think that's like your calling.
Maybe.
No, don't run that way.
Don't run that way? Ow.
Ah! Reload.
Fucking silenced pistol.
Hit marker. As if. Fuck! Oh, God damn it.
You used to set yourself back with that one.
Yeah, totally. How is that a hit mark? How the fuck did I blow myself up and not you? Get it? Oh my fucking god, just kill me. Just fucking come up and knife me, please. Bitch.
Well, I tried to, but fuck you. I was going to give you what you were asking for.
Oh my god, Dude, this is actually fucking so annoying. I hate this fucking rocket. I'm not moving. You push me, bunch? Cunt? I don't know what to call it.
Bunch?
Punk? I don't know.
Punt? Did you call me a punt?
I don't know what I said, to be perfectly honest.
Ow. Oh yeah, mister, I'm not pushing you.
I wasn't. I didn't know where you were, and then I heard you, like, slide. Oh, no fucking way. I'm gonna already look that way, because I was reloading.
bullshit. Every fucking shot now. You fucking jinx me, Leo.
Jinx you? How do
Yeah,
I jinx you?
you fucking jinx me because you're like, oh, you're doing really good with the EDR. Now I can't hit a single fucking. Finally, god damn. Now I'm back to this stupid fucking silenced pistol.
I set you back?
Yeah, you knifed me, remember?
Absolutely.
Not over.
Oh wait, no,
Get
yeah,
out
no,
and
no. I
hurt some.
remember. I told you to knife me. Yeah, that's funny.
Fuck you.
I'm just so good. No, what the fuck is this? Dragon on? Are you kidding me? It would be a sure shame if you pushed me.
Yeah, it really fucking would because I can't fucking kill you with this fucking silenced pistol when you've got a fucking LMG.
What do you mean that's a sniper? Bitch.
Finally.
Great, that was my opportunity. Oh my god, I literally can't aim with this thing because the it's a little fucking can on it. Literally covers up the entire site.
Fun.
Not really. Pretty stupid, actually. Pretty fucking annoying impact. Where are you?
Enemies on the last weapon. Step it
I
up.
don't know how I did not die there, but I'll take it.
Oh, last one, Leo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No way! How'd that miss? Fuck. I'll go through that door, pussy.
I won't.
Oh, I mean, go through that door, pussy.
Bet.
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 You won't. You're literally not. You're flanking me, aren't you?
Maybe.
Bitch! I knew it. Look at this. Look at this fucking sweat. Wow. Fucking bitch. You wouldn't go through the door. You are a pussy. What? What? Fuck you.
Fuck you, dude. Not what I intended, but okay.
Yeah, really good job there, bud. You really showed me.
How did I blow myself up, but not you, when you were standing right fucking next to me?
I jumped behind you and you shot in front of you. I thought you would have got me, to be honest.
I thought I would have too.
Fuck are you?
Hiding from that bitch ass? Fuck you! Fuck you! God damn it, dude. Every fucking time.
You'll never find me. I'm so irritated. You slid at the perfect time.
You will not
Watch
forget
this
this
shit.
day. We will be waiting.
You
I
literally
have no
slid
choice
right
but to watch this shit.
True. Look, goddamn it, man. Why'd you have to slide? Oh, great kill cam.
Alright, good
I'd
night.
say we wrap it up. Yeah.
Oh,
Subscribe to my boy.
yeah, we're trying to get at least 400 by the end of the summer. So
Yeah, I'm sure you'll hit it.
hopefully, you know, we should be getting close. I haven't checked my
It's only
subscriber
20
count.
away, I believe.
Yeah, it's 20 or less away.
If you don't subscribe and you watch this, you're a pussy. And if you subscribe, you're a pussy slaying Chad.
Indeed. See,
Dude,
like, there's no reason for you people not to.
Yeah, in fact, actually, I subscribed to him quite a while ago, and there's actually been some side effects. Care to hear?
Yeah, do tell, you know.
Well, firstly, my dick is absolutely huge. Like, so much bigger than it's ever been before. I used to be able, like, a 2-inch willy, easy 8-inch now. Alright?
Wow, wow, wow. That's
And now the other
an
thing-
extra 6 inches? Damn.
Yeah, everyone just loves me. I don't know what it is. I just have this overwhelming charisma simply because I know this dude and I subscribe to his channel, enjoy his content, and like his videos. And also hit the notification.
Holy shit, like...
Also,